Hello everyone, I am Will, and welcome back to my playthrough of Dark Souls 2, Scholar for Sin. Yep. Last we left off, we started the DLCs. Yep. Started with the Crown of the Sunken King. Yep. So we went down to Black Gulch, just past the Rotten's Arena, past the where the room with the primal bonfire is the shrine to access the Sunken King DLC. Yep. So we examined the altar, teleported outside of Shulva, through the door, through this passageway, and we made it to Shulva, the Sanctum city. Yep. Big old, I don't quite say like a, there's a big temple outside, like a temple ziggurat type structure outside. Yeah, and the first thing we really came upon was Sin, the slumbering dragon. He was up on the little cliffside, snoozing, and as we approached, he woke up and he flew off. Yep, and we also noticed he had a big old spear through his backside, so, yeah. So, yes. Came upon the opening bonfire of the area. Yep. And then we pressed it forward. Yep. Made our way through the Sanctum city. Yep. Encountered the Sanctum soldiers, who are, although they're weak to fire and weakest to fire and then weaker to strike. Yeah. But the one thing that they're I will say infamous for is their poise. They have a really high poise for regular enemies. Yeah, even with a claymore here with the stone ring, it takes like 2 hits to poise break them. Yeah, so they couple with that with their big old maces and poison, and yeah, and the fact that there's actually quite a number of them between the bonfire and, well, considering there's a good number of them in the little passageways. It's a real slog. I was hoping the stone ring with our Cian halberd would at least poise break them in 1 hit, but no, they even have more than that. Yeah, they have a lot, so it requires us to hit them twice in order to poise break them, which usually we weren't quick enough. They usually get a hit off before that, but oh well. Yeah, but we eventually figured out that they attack pretty slow and they have a slow recovery, that you can just kind of strafe around them and get a good backstab off. So that's the one weakness they have. Yeah. So we encountered the Sanctum soldiers and just kind of worked our way through. Yep. Activated the little totem switches, for lack of a better word. They're like little totem switches. You hit them either with like an arrow or a weapon or something, and they'll activate and they'll cause a structure to rise and lower. And so we just kind of use that to, I won't say ambush a group of Sanctum soldiers. Did a good chunk of health to them, softened them up as we approached. Yeah. There's also various items on those various platforms that gets raised and lowered. I think the first one had like a longbow +7 or something like that. Another one had like a lightning quartz ring or dark quartz ring +3. We just kind of did our thorough exploration. Not a whole lot of noteworthy loot. There was the longbow +7. Just kind of like trying to how to describe what I did. I just kind of explored all nooks and crannies again. I'm not very good at my explanations. I apologize. But use the switches, lower platforms, jump on the platforms to grab items, raise them up, and then lower them again, so we can use them as kind of like elevators to go through like little lower sections to get to press forward a bit. Only thought I got stuck on one of them, but luckily we did have a vantage point on the switch even down below, so we were able to raise ourselves back up. Yeah, just kind of worked our way through. Came upon the corrosive bug things, like those little beetle-like enemies that spew corrosive mist around them. Went through their nest, throwing, you know, fire bombs and all that stuff to clear them out. Picked up the, what's it called, the bombs. Yeah, we found some old growth bombs at the start. Came upon some more near the end. Also picked up golden fruit bomb in one of those corrosive bug nests. Yeah. These increase a particular stat by 5 for about 45 seconds, I want to say. Yeah, the old growth increases strength by 5, and the gold fruit increases by faith by 5. So, pretty interesting items. Although their duration leave lots of desire for a stat boost. But for something like strength and dexterity, because there is one for dexterity, those two will probably be pretty useful in fights. But the other ones, I don't know. But they're there if you need them. Yep, just kind of clear out the bug nest, activate more switches to move some more platforms to get to various other areas. Yep. And just kind of not a whole lot to say. Encounter those little, I won't quite call them turtles, but like little reptile things that are low to the ground that have poison-spitting statues on their backs. Yeah, those enemies can be annoying because they're only damaged parts, their reptile bodies near the ground. So unless you hit them directly with, like, say, an arrow or a AoE type spell aimed at the ground, you're probably gonna miss them, and it's yeah. But again, luckily they're weakest to fire, so as long as you have like a pyromancy or fire arrows, should be okay. Yeah. Yep. Kind of just continue to press forward. Came upon this little. I won't quite say, well, not quite walkway, not quite cliffside, but I'll just call it like a little land bridge. Where we had like 3 Sanctum soldiers, archers, just kind of sitting back. 2 of the lance guys just kind of laying on the ground. A whole bunch of switches and pillars, and one of them is definitely used to block line of sight from the bug nests. And we just kind of woke up one of the lance guys, lured him back out of the range of the archers, took care of him. And they came upon the first archer, then the second pair of archers. There's another lance guy there. You know, woke him up, used the, I'll say, like, ruined walls as, like, protection against the archers. Took care of the lance guy, and then the archers, and... Yep, and then we lit up one of the switches, reveals an item that I thought you could just kind of run off onto, but nope. Yep, you can't. You can't run off to that one. I thought you could roll. Nope, you can't roll to that one either. You actually have to activate one of the other switches to raise one of the other platforms for you to actually kind of like jump across. So it's, I don't know, it was kind of frustrating, but we eventually did get it. It is a Dark Knight Stone ×2, which is not useful at this point because we could just buy them from Cloan if we wanted to, but they're there if you need them. Yep. And the only other thing to note was off in the distance past those little land bridge archers, there's some statues with red eyes. Yep. And you could we actually aimed our pyromancy, a great fireball, towards them to break them up, revealing another totem switch. Yep. You activate that, another land or another structure rises from below, creating a bridge across to a cave. And in that cave is a tree demon. I'm not quite sure what it is. I know it's a tree of some sort, but it's also got eyes and it's alive and all that stuff. So it's like a demon tree of some sort. But in that cave there was the Notch Whipped +7, as well as the Promised Walk of Peace Hex, which is a hex that slows the movement of the caster and everyone around him. Yeah. I mean, it's okay. I mean, it probably would have been better if it didn't affect the caster, but oh well. Yeah, but the thing about that tree demon thing is that if you hit it with a weapon or a spell or a pyromancy, nothing happens. But if you hit it with the Notched Whip, then it'll kind of wiggle around and release repair powder. Yeah, it releases repair powder if you hit it with a notch wit for some reason. I don't know. It's interesting. It's there. I just don't know about it. I mean, it's an odd thing to place, but I'm not going to complain about it. I mean, it releases repair powder, repairs your equipment, so that's all I gotta say. Yeah, it's an odd little thing, but yep. And then after that, we raised up all the little platforms in that little land bridge out there. Yep. I kind of like hopped across the tops here to the bonfire here. Yep. And that was it. Yeah. I mean, again, there's not much to say about it. We just kind of raised, lowered platforms, took them down, found all the nooks and crannies we could. The only loot of note was the Sanctum mace on a body, but we already got that from one of the soldiers. The old growth bombs, the gold fruit bombs. There's also the dried roots, which is the only value is just to sell it. It restores health so slowly that it's not really worth it. Yes, it lasts like several minutes, but the health regen rate is just pathetic. I don't know what else to say. It also has a slight hum to it while it's in effect that can be annoying to some people. But I think you can sell it to Gavline for like 1,000. So it's the only real use is just to sell it. But yeah, I think those were the main loot that we really got. There's the upgraded weapons, the longbow +7, the notched whip +7. There was the dark quartz ring +3, the lightning quartz ring +3. Those were the biggie ones that I remember. I mean, maybe some twinkling tinites here and there, and some random bolts and life gems and poison mosses, but yeah. Not much to say here in the outskirts in the Sanctum City. But it's going to get a lot better from here. Yeah, a lot more noteworthy loots, and a bit more. Well, I would say a bit more straightforward in the pathing. I'll just say that. But yep, yeah, and that was it. That's all we did last episode. Started off Sanctum City in the outskirts here. And between episodes, I didn't do anything. Nope, I didn't do anything. Yeah, so all our levels are going to be the same. Souls are going to be about the same. The only thing I really did is kind of tested some weapons against the Sanctum Soldier by the first bonfire. And I found that the Claymore here is actually pretty good against them. Although two-handed with the Stone Ring, it still requires 2 hits to stagger. But it attacks quick enough and it does enough damage that you can kill him in 3 hits. So you should be able to kill Sanctum Soldiers relatively safely, I would say, with the Claymore here. Yep. So, although the two-handed R2 of the Claymore with the Stone Ring will poise break the Sanctum Soldier, so that's actually pretty good. So that's why I have a Claymore here. Also, we're coming upon the Sanctum Knights in the temple down there, so, and those guys cannot be poise broken, at least not that I'm aware of. So they're going to be a lot more dangerous. But yeah. So that's really all I did with between episodes, just test some weapons against the Sanctum Soldiers just to see which one would be okay, and I think the Claymore is going to be our best bet. Yep, that was it. That's all I did between episodes. And today we're just going to press forward into Sanctum City. Yep. Our next destination is the little temple ziggurat structure. Yeah, just out that door to the left. Yep, that is our destination. Yep. It's going to be some more Sanctum soldiers. We'll meet the Sanctum Knights as well as the Sanctum Priestesses. We'll also be getting some more valuable loot. Yep. Hopefully we'll make it to at least the entrance to the Cave of the Dead, but that's going to require an NPC invader who is pretty dangerous. Yeah. But hopefully nothing we can't handle, but we'll see. We'll see. This is a FromSoft DLC, so all bets are off. So And our equipment for today. Yep. At least we're going to start out with the Claymore plus 10. Because again, I think it would do us well against these Sanctum soldiers, and hopefully against the knights as well. But we'll see about that. I have our Pyromancy Flame, because I'm sticking with our Pyromancies, because I still think it's going to be our best bet against the enemies coming up. I know Sanctum soldiers are weak to fire. I'm pretty sure the Sanctum knights are as well. The priestesses, I'm not too sure. They might be resistant to elemental damages, but let's stick with our Pyromancies. And as well as our King Shield. That's just going to be like our primary shield going forward, because I just love how it looks. Very colorful. I would say colorful, but yep. So again, this will probably change depending on the situation. I have my Ring of Blades plus 1 because we're doing pure physical. Might as well. Stone Ring again, just to hopefully at least 2-hit stagger Sanctum soldiers. Yep. Clear Blue Stone for faster casts, faster Calamity Ring for faster regen, stamina. We're going with our Alva set. Going back to one of my favorites. We've got our Penal Mask plus 5, one of the best headgears I have. It also provides a equip load increase, so it kind of offsets its own weight a little bit. Yep. I have Alva's Armor, Gauntlets, and Greaves. Yep. These are solid defenses. Could use a bit more poise, but with the enemies we're facing, they're gonna hit pretty hard. So it's like poise is kind of meaningless at this point. So I have my flask, gems, charcoal pine resin just for fire buffs, because again, Sanctum soldiers are weak to fire. Poison moss just in case we get poisoned. Yep, because there's a whole bunch of poison in here. And here are our stats. Again, it should be the same as last time. Pretty good, pretty good. And I have 2 copies of Great Combustion, Great Fireball, and 2 Flame Swaths. Yep. Don't have our Forbidden Sun today, yep. Which is, it's okay. I mean, we only had 1 cast, so it wasn't really that useful, but it was powerful. I'll say that. It was powerful. Alright. I think I rambled on long enough. Shall we get to it? Sure, let's get to it. Alright. First destination is actually over there. Yeah. That little structure. Hopefully we can climb it. We can't go too far into it, actually. Yeah, because I think the only way to get to that bonfire is to actually go from across that bridge there, across this way. Yeah, I think there's an elevator shortcut that goes down, but I don't think it goes up. So, okay. Have a drop down. Slap our silver cut ring just to avoid damage. Hello, sir. Yep. Claymore R2s will actually stagger them, which is nice. Ooh, there's 2 of them down there, so we have to be careful. Actually, put off right here. Here we go. Quickly put our blades back on. And hopefully we can catch the guy. Ah. Difficult to aim in this game. Come on. Over here. Okay. Almost fell off. That would have been bad. Yeah, so that's kind of why I picked the Claymore, because I know the R2 will stagger him with the stone ring on. So that's what we like to see. Alright, so this is the way forward. Alright. Wish us luck. Should also get an appearance of Mr. Dragon again. He should appear here briefly. I think as we try to cross that bridge, he'll come down and strike. Ooh, rusted coins. We'll take it. It appears the elevator up, but again, it's kind of closed until we get the switch up top. This way. There he is. Mr. Sin, the slumbering dragon. Alright. Is there another guy? No, they're dead. Luckily those pots don't have poison. Ooh, focus souls. New spell, I believe, with the DLC. Yep, there it is. An ancient sorcery of Sholva, the Sanctum city. Fires a focus beam of souls. The development of sorceries was stunted in Sholva, as they were considered taboo, even though there were some occasional gems created by a group of nameless enthusiasts. So hopefully this is the little beam attack I'm thinking of, but could be wrong. Yeah, 60 intelligence. Ooh. Yeah. So hopefully that's the beam attack. I was kind of disappointed in Geyser. I thought Geyser was going to be it, but no, I think that this is it. But, yeah, another powerful sorcery to use if you want. If you have the intelligence for it. Pretty sure Sin's not going to show up again. We approach, it opens. We're in the Dragon's Sanctum now. And that singing is the Sanctum Priestess. Yep. I think this is locked. Yeah, it's locked. And there's a priest. I think there's like 2 priestesses beyond this door. Yeah, there's an importance in song apparently in this game with the Milfinito singing and now the priestess is singing. Alright. Yep, there's one right there. Actually, let's do... We'll keep our primacy there. Let's put our bow on here as well. I don't like doing this, but for this, we'll do it. That is a Sanctum Knight. However, he's currently in ghost form. Yep. You can see that little red thing over there. That's his armor. His armor's, or it's a, not his armor, but it's an armor that's basically putting him into that ghost-like state. So you can still do damage to him in that state, but he's practically immune to physical, and he's very resistant to elemental, like very, very resistant. You probably do like tens of damages, maybe like 50 at most, in that current state. So what you really need to do is you destroy the armor that's glowing like that. That'll lift his little ghost form off, and he'll become like a normal enemy. I'm pretty sure an arrow will work. There it goes, yep. Now his little spell is lifted, and now he's back to normal. Again, he's still pretty tanky. I think he's got like 1200 health. Very high poise. I think you can backstab him. I think he can be parried as well. Although I'm not too sure about the parry part. Backstab, but yeah, you should be able to. I am going to draw him over here, but I just want to... Alright. Oh, you can actually get it. Oop. Not what I wanted. Not what I wanted. That is a Sanctum priestess. They are stationary, they shoot out hexes, and if you're close enough, they will release a poison blast when they die. So if you're melee, just be careful. They can release a poison cloud once they die, but yep. Again, their main danger is that they shoot out hexes. Pretty sure alluring skulls will work against them. Yeah. So we'll leave her alone for now. Alright, we're gonna fight this knight. Hopefully, we don't die. No promises. Just want to see if we can backstab him. Yes, okay. I wasn't 100% sure. Okay. Okay, not too bad. Not too bad. I remember these guys being a real pain, especially if you get more than one. But luckily we baited him by himself, and although there's going to be more of them in that little room, it's probably like another 2. Yeah, there's another guy right there. You can see his weapon, which means there's another body that we have to, or another armor we have to destroy. But we'll come back to that in a moment. This is a door, and this is a switch. Hit the switch, open door. I know, pretty straightforward, but there's actually a lot of different switches in this little sanctum. Some of them are going to be above you, some are going to be through little slots. But just keep an eye out for them. Giant Charms and Hero Soul. Nice. And do I go this way? Yeah, we can see another Sanctum soldier right there. Yep. That one there, he is covered in a poison cloud, which means if he gets close, you're going to get poisoned. Looks like we got triggered multiples. Alright, just caught him in an attack. Alright, I was trying to use pyromancy, but no, bad idea. Yeah, those two are triggered together, so oh well, I figured that was going to happen eventually, but oh well. Oh well. That's my fault for trying to do pyromancy. Well, no, pyromancy would work. It's just that there was 2 of them, and it was a real hassle. So, all right, let's drop down again. Actually, I'll just I'll skip right back to the sanctum. So, I'll see you in a bit. All right, I'm back. All right. Alright, not too bad, not too bad. Yeah, my one complaint about the DLCs is that, again, there's just a sheer number of enemies. Well, that's a general complaint against Dark Souls 2, but my biggie is that enemies aggro in groups. Yeah, like this example over here, this guy here, there's another guy that'll aggro with him, which is what I don't like. So if we hit this guy, his friend's going to come with them. I thought it was, well, I'm pretty sure his friend's going to come with him, so let's just get ready. Yeah. And again, he has a poison cloud, so he's going to poison us as we're nearby. Yep, here's his friend. Poison, it's fine. Poison moss. Yeah, this is my main complaint with the enemies, is that they aggro in groups, no matter what. Yeah, which is, I don't quite agree with it, but yeah, FromSoft's game, they can do what they want. Alright. So we're going to use the Alluring Skulls against the Priestess, because that is a drop down. Yep. You can see there's another soldier to the left. A little alcove, but we're going to use our Alluring Skulls to at least draw the Priestess's attention away from us. Because she should be susceptible to it. I think the soldiers might be as well. Step out. As you can see her hexing. Okay, Alluring Skulls. Looks like the Sanctum soldiers will actually follow the skulls. There's that poison cloud upon death. We got an archer guy. Boom. Go Flame Swath. I love you. Just checking an effigy. Don't mind if I do. Alright. Yeah, and the priestess can drop her little hood, helmet, whatever you want to call it. I keep forgetting. Really? Alright, whatever. Hit the switch, watch it rotate. Yep, if we hadn't killed him, he would now be shooting at us, but we did kill him, so he's not going to be a problem. I have to do it at least, I think, one more time. There we go. Alright. Always check your corners. Ah, yes, this little area. There should be hidden switches somewhere. Check your corners. Okay. Prepare powder, don't mind if I do. So I think that's a drop down. We could drop down, but we're actually going to jump across. Go. We'll eventually do that. We'll eventually go down there, but for now we're just going to hop across. Switch at the end. Should open up this door, but I was going to continue forward a bit. So I'm pretty sure this is a dead end, I believe. Yeah, but again, there's another. Whoops. I'm going to do that a lot. That activated something. I think it opens up a door in our left. Didn't open this door, but it opened up a door inside. Go. The guy to our left, yep. And probably another guy down the stairs. Probably just stick with our claymore, but you know, no Sunny D for you. All right. So, ooh yeah. Yep, there's actually a hidden switch right above, right there. There it is, right there. As long as you don't hit the switch, you should be fine. Get his attention. Right there. Switch. Bam. Get his attention, throw an alluring skull on the stairs, hit the switch. Bam, you're good. So we'll have a hero. Effigy. Alright. And a treasure room. Yep. This door was locked, except for the switch we did at the very end of that hallway. Opened up this door. Alright. So, no mimics, there's no latches. And I don't think you're trapped. 3 boltstone bleedstones. Okay. That's what I like to see. Twinkling Titanites and petrified dragon bones. Yep. And through this door we have puzzling stone sword. Yep. This is the I think this is the weapon that Fencer Sharon was using. This is a very interesting weapon, I'll say that. Yep. I like how it's glowing, but R1s, kind of like the Hay Knight swords, but the R2, it's a whip. So it is a whip sword. Ooh, that's actually pretty nice, the pokes of the R1s and the R2. Yep. Again, it's a really cool weapon. Ooh. S scaling and dexterity. Ooh, we might use this. That's actually giving us a pretty hefty bonus there. We might give this a try. I think it uses a Twinkling Titanite, so we might give it a try. We might. Although probably not in this DLC, again, because these stupid Sanctum soldiers are so damn poisy that it's not really worth it. But we'll probably give it a try. It looks pretty cool. Yeah. Alright. I think that's the main thing for this little area. So I guess we have to drop down. Should be some corrosive bugs. Some bugs down there. At least lets us. Ooh, I don't want to do this just yet. See a priestess up there, but the biggie is that ghost knight right there. You can just see his weapon jutting out. And that's spiked floors. It will do damage. It will do health damage as well as durability damage. Yeah, she's one. Yeah, he's going to be a pain in the butt. I don't want to do that just yet. Alright, so there's going to be a bunch of... yeah, be a bunch of them down there. Alright. Will alluring skulls work against them? I don't think so. Alright, well, we're gonna drop down, take some damage. Ooh, some damage already, alright. I don't think it works. I don't think it works against them. double chug for that. Nice. More growth bombs. Don't mind if I do. Life gems. When those bugs drop. Oh, go bombs. Wow, they drop bombs as well. Bunch of poopy pies. Yeah, this was a pretty dangerous room. Yeah, Claymore didn't kill him in one hit, which made it pretty dangerous. But 20 poison throwing knives, which is not very helpful in the poison DLC, but I mean, we'll take it. Alright. Up a ladder. Not too long, luckily. I bet you're trapped. Ooh, Flynn's ring. Ah, yes. Here's a interesting little ring. Where is it? Here it is. Lower equip load increases physical attack power. Yep. Alright, so we have a base. Our Claymore has a base of 355. It's that attack power 1 here. This right here. This is our Claymore. So if we go down to Flynn's ring, it boosts it by 34. And so now we have a plus. This gives us 34 additional damage at our current equip load. However, if we drop down to our skivvies, it gave us a bit more. Yeah. Now 388. Not much more, but basically the less equip load you have, the more this gives you. But I think there's an upper limit. Yeah, I think that's the upper limit. About 60. I think it's 38. I think it's the upper limit. 34 actually, which 65 to 98. Yeah, 34 is the upper limit. So the Ring of Blades +1 is a better choice, but it does stack with the Ring of Blades. Yeah, like that. So you can have both of these increase your attack power by like almost 70. So, but again, Flynn's ring is best when you have less equip load. I think once you get above 50% equip load, I believe is when it gets to its max value. Or if you're below, I think 50. I'm not quite 100% sure. I don't really use it because I like to wear heavy armors or heavy-ish armors, but just know you can stack these together for some pretty impressive physical attack power. All right. That poor explanation out of the way. Let's get our equipment back on. Put our pyromancy in our other hand just so we don't mess with our use of our pyromancies. Repair powder and spells. Cool. Alright. Flynn's ring. Interesting ring. I don't really use it. You can combine it with the Ring of Blades for some impressive physical boosts. Drop down, that's where we got repair powders from. Yep. And now we can actually go back up. Because I don't want to do that one room just yet. That one room we came upon with the... although I think we might have... We might have to, actually, because I don't think we can get back from over here. Crap. Crap. Yeah, alright, fine. We'll... I don't want to do it, but we're gonna have to. Yep. Actually, we wanted to clear out that room up there first, but oh well. Oh well. This is gonna be hard. Let's see. It was this way. Actually, we jumped across. Oops. Down to the left. Alright. Alright, room. You suck. We have a King's Shield, so it does provide us a decent dark defense. Although they still hit like a truck. She's summoning pursuers. Which one's okay? He's the main problem. Well, they're the main problems, actually. Hit the switch. Open door. We're just gonna climb the ladder to get out of their little area. Yeah, they can't climb ladders, thankfully, but... Alright. Keep looking over there. Ooh, hello. Okay, that was interesting. Yeah. Game crashed. I don't know why. So that's... That's a first for me. I don't remember that ever happening to me. Let's try to see what we have. Get an idea of where we're at. I think we're on our way to... So those are there. I should have the puzzling sword. Alright, cool. Right, so it looks like we're on our way to that godforsaken room. Game crash. Wow. So don't run up to the sorceresses. She was using the... what's the hex? It was... this one, Scraps of Life. She was casting that when we got close. I think that's what happened. I think it might have something to do with a either a physics calculation error or something like that. But just run. Take the hit. We can open the door later. Alright, just get out of there. Alright. Priestess. Okay, you're not that weak to, there she goes. Alright. Okay, crash avoided. Yeah, I think it involved her using her, Scraps of Life, hex. Yep, alright. Yep, those guys are actually immune to physical damage, so they're not taking any damage from that little spiked, trap. Alright. So we can hit the switch. so that lowered the spikes, so we can actually... Mr. Knight down below. Alright. You guys don't care about luring skulls, do you? No. Okay. Might have to use the urine sorcery for that. Alright. There is a way to open this door. There is a switch somewhere that will open it. I don't remember where. I think it's in this room somewhere. I think it's that over there. I think there's another knight. No, another priestess. Oh, there's another knight in here. Ooh, this is bad. Bad, bad, bad. I don't like this room. Yeah, they're immune to physical in that state. If we get our pyromancy off, we should be able to do some damage to them, but... Oh, that's actually not that bad. That is very doable. So we're just gonna slowly work him down. Just get our stamina back. Fall off. Nope. Stamina that. Oh, let's not fall off ourselves. Oh. Went right through him because he has no physical form. Tank it, tank it, tank it. There we go. Alright. That was a really poor idea, but we had to do it anyway. I think I know where these guys' suits of armor is at. I think it is down that way, I believe. No, it's that way. There is a way down where there's a whole bunch of armors. We're going to avoid getting close for the scraps of life, little bug. No, it's that way. That's the way that we, I think that's where we gotta go. Open that up. You're a trapped chest. I'm gonna open up you first. This leads us back here. Okay, cool. Alright. So we can avoid the downstairs area, but with that one knight up here, it's gonna be kind of tricky. Alright, this chest is trapped. You can tell by it's kind of like wet. It looks wet. That's how I can tell. I think that's how you can normally tell. Arrows, just block. A couple of Lord's talismans. Don't mind if I do. Alright. We're not going to do that just yet. This is the way, yeah, this is it. Yep, this is it. Yeah, this is the shitty room. Just lure all the knights out here. Just do it. Because that room has a whole bunch of armors. Cursed armors I've got to destroy. Just book it. there's a few more knights down there. This is going to be like a suicide run, but there's one here. Just go around the room, break them. Don't worry about any of the loot or anything. Just break them. Just break the armors. Our priority is just break them. We're probably gonna die. That's fine. Just break them. Don't worry about loot. Just break armors. All right. Alright, so now they're all unghost, so now they're all vulnerable. More vulnerable, anyway. Oop. Thank you. Even the ones down there are now vulnerable. Alright. Where are you, buddies? Let's go. Did one of you fall down? Yep, the knights have a ranged weapon. Yep, they have little crossbows that shoot dark orbs for some reason. Or at least, I think they do. I think the one in his left hand will shoot the dark orb. Or he'll take out his weapons. Yeah, he's not flinching for anything. Which is fine. Alright. Alright, so that room, yeah, but luckily once you break the armors, they're broken forever. So, yeah, this room is really dangerous. Yeah, your best bet is just to lure the knights out of this room as far as you can, run back this way, and just smash the armors. Prioritize smashing the armors. Yeah. Because once you get the armors done, you can kill the knights. Once the knights are dead, you can just come back here and loot to your heart's content. Eternal Sanctum Key. Yep, this is what the key we need to open up the first locked door in the Sanctum. Yep, key to the depths of the Eternal Sanctum. To the inner chamber of the Eternal Sanctum. Sunken King erected the Eternal Sanctum to shelter Shin the dragon. The Sanctum appears to be a solemn temple, but it is filled with devilish creatures that ensure no trespassers shall cause offense. So he erected this building to protect the dragon, because I think they're dragon worshippers. We have the Sanctum Knight helmet. I think it's up here. Or is it down below? It might be down below. Here it is. Sanctum Knight helmet. The Sanctum Knights renounce their own flesh to eternally guard the Sanctum from Sir York and his Drakeblood Knights. And so these guys basically became ghosts, almost. Like possessed armor kind of people or things. Yeah, to eternally protect the Sanctum. Some very nice physical defenses. Elementals are kind of iffy, but... Yep, the knights can drop the rest of their armor set. And I think they're crossbows as well. Although I think we can pick up the crossbows somewhere. Yeah, I gotta do some more farming. Yeah, because I actually do kind of like their armor. Looks pretty cool. Alright. So what we're going to do is now we're going to hit the switch again. Now they are vulnerable to damage, so we're just going to... Oh, you didn't die, you fell down, okay. Really, you guys aren't taking damage? You are. Oh, they have to move. Okay, it looks like they have to move to take damage. Yeah, like that. Aww. We got a repeating crossbow, a heavy crossbow. Come on. Wait for him to shoot again. There's the dark attack. I guess he'll die as his next attack. Yep. There we go. Ow. Looks like they're in he's a safe spot right there. I have no problem doing this. Ow. I thought I could get it off. Ooh, he dropped something. Alright, I think there's one more. I think there's just one more knight. You should be down below us. Yeah, he's right there. Okay. There's just one more. We can deal with him. Alright. Let us hop down. So that way is actually down towards the boss. Yeah. But we're not going to do that just yet. We have a Cave of the Dead. We got Jester Thomas to fight. Thank you. Alright. Nice. So let's loot. Got an FG. Ooh, more Twinkling Titanite. Nice. Holy Water Urn. I think will work against the priestesses, I think. That'll open up that door. We want torches. Don't mind if I do. And this knight dropped repair powder. Okay. We'll take it. Alright, so for that, let's go here. We have Dragonstone. Ooh. Stone that operates Sanctum contraption. An extremely solid stone. Yep. Used to operate the eternal Sanctum contraption. The heirloom of a race that discovered a dragon, worshipped its magnificence, and perished by its side. Yep. I think that's... trying to remember how to get to that. But, I think we can just throw something in there, but I'm actually going to go up. There is a mechanism to open that. I just don't quite remember where it's at. Yeah. Because that's too far to jump. You actually jump across here, but there's a switch that you have to hit. That opens up the spikes on the ground. That leads us out. That's a switch to there. I don't see any other switches. Didn't see any down there. We'll go double check. Lead bite rain +1. Nice. Even more bleed resistance. Oh. You can take a quick peek to make sure it's not here. Oh, there it is. Yep, okay, there it is. That's the one we wanted. Because beyond that little door... Beyond here... bonfire. Alright. Grab this. The Sanctum crossbow. I figured we would pick it up. Sanctum crossbow. Crossbow wielded by Sanctum knights. Strong attack fires dark bolts. These guardian knights were sentenced to eternal stewardship of the Sanctum, in a clandestine ritual carried out in the great depths, but today the Sanctum receives nary a visitor. They were sentenced to eternal stewardship. That the way it's phrased there means that they were punished to be eternal stewards of the Sanctum, and yet their helmet says they were renounced their own flesh, so they chose to become eternal guardians. So their helmet says they chose to. The crossbow implies that they might have been punished that way, because at least in the United States anyway, but where I'm from, to sentence somebody is to kind of impose a punishment on them. So maybe a bit in translation kind of thing, but we'll go a bit more, because I want to deal with these guys while these enemies are dead. I want to continue forward. We have denial. Denied. Alright, I think it is a miracle. An ancient miracle owned to the Cardinal of Sholva. Challenge fate one time when HP reaches 0. Originally intended to grant the dying a few moments for their final farewell. Basically, second chance. It returns from, I think, Demon Souls had a I think it was called Second Chance in Demon Souls. When your HP reached 0, you would actually get a burst of health that would prevent you from dying. I believe this works in the same way. If our health reaches 0, this will activate and it will give us a bit of health to survive, but I'm pretty sure it counts as a body buff, so it won't work with Golden Vow. I mean, not Golden Vow. Sacred Oath, Flash Sweat, Iron Flesh, all that stuff. Yeah, we might put it on. We might. Having a second chance is definitely worth it. Yeah, I don't think there's anything in this room except for the chest. Alright. You know what? Well, part of me wants to go back and check out that first room we kind of missed or passed up. It shouldn't take too long, but I'll have to... pretty sure we got everything in this little area, though, which is what I wanted. You hear singing. I'm pretty sure that's what's her name? The Squalid Queen. Pretty sure that's her singing down there. Alana, I think it's is it Alana? I think it's Alana. But so I do want to go back and check out that other room, but how do I do that? There's got to be a way. Hold on, I'm gonna take a moment, see if I can get back up somehow. Because that's a drop down, but there should be a way back. Because this drops us off in here. Puts us back into this room. Brings us back here. Yeah, because this is a sheer drop. There's no way back up. There's a door that opens there. Nothing on the roof. There may not be a way back up. Huh. So I guess once you drop down, you're down. Yeah. I was trying to jump, but I couldn't. Alright, so I don't think there's a way back up. I think we have to fast travel back up. Which is fine. Maybe we can do that. Yeah, we'll do that then. Even though I didn't want to, we'll do it anyway. Because I want to check out that first room again. I should have done that first before dropping down, but I thought there was a way back up. So that means I'm going to, again, pause it here. That should be the Cave of the Dead entrance. Yep. Yeah, so I'm going to have to pause it here and make my way back to that first room. Sure. Okay, yeah. Alright, so I'll see you all in a bit. Alright, I'm back. Alright, sorry about that. Yeah, because definitely want to check out this room first before I delve deeper into the temple here, but I thought there was a way back up, but I guess not, which is kind of poo. Alright, come on, knight. Come on. Thank you. Alright. There should be another... Yeah, again, there's another ghost knight. You have to drop down. There's his armor. Yep. I think that's all of them. Okay, so let's... Thank you. I mean, I want to try parrying them, but I'll do that on my own time. Alright. Actually, before we do this, let's clear out these guys. Oi. They have a really long reach, so just be careful. They also get a bit extra poise during their attacks, so... No, sir. Alright. So with them cleared out, this is actually now a perfect time to do this room. And the only things in here is going to be chests. Yeah. Not a mimic. Shouldn't be trapped. We have destructive arrows. 50 of them. Okay. No latches. Not a mimic. Katarina helmet. They added the Katarina armor to the DLCs. I think you get them throughout the DLC. An odd helmet shaped like an onion. This helmet appears rather absurd. but its multi-faced construction is in fact quite practical as it effectively deflects physical attacks. The old tales speak of brave Katarina knights wearing this helmet as they rushed courageously into battle. Yep, you can become an onion, bro. Pretty solid physical defenses. Elementals are but the 9 poise on there is definitely worth it. Yep. We can get the rest of the armor set, I believe, throughout the rest of the DLCs. I think the helmet in here, I think the I'm not quite sure where the rest of them are, but you can get the rest of them through the DLCs. And we have Soul Vessel. Don't mind if I do. Yeah. And 5 old growth bombs. Don't mind if I do. And a Titanite slab. We'll take it. A very good room. Definitely worth looting. The Soul Vessel, the Katarina helmet, the slab. Definitely worth it. Yep. Yeah, and the only other way to get the Katarina set is from a Red Phantom NPC enemy in New Game Plus and higher. That enemy has a chance to drop the armor set, but again, I don't think he respawns, and it's 1 respawn per New Game cycle. So, yeah, the fact that they add in the DLC as a guarantee loot is definitely a welcome change. Yep. Yeah. I think that's everything for this room. I don't think there's anything else in here. I don't remember there being anything else. No. Yeah, I don't think there's anything else here. No switches on the ceiling. Nope. None on the walls. Nope. Okay. Let's go this way. Oh, we have an arrow trap. Let's fire resin it up. Alright, you guys didn't take no damage. Gotcha. Gotcha. Ow. Hey, over there. Another mace. You're trapped. Comes in, throw away. Ow. We have 3 dried roots. No thank you. Right, just be careful of the little arrow trap. I switched, opened up the door. Ah, here it is. Here's the switch on the floor for the trap. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, just it's a small switch, so it's easily missed. You might just kind of like run out this way and hit it by accident. Alright. Let's open that up. Let's open up this. And we have some nice rewards. Twinkly Tinites, Petrified Dragon Bones. Nice. We love that. Alright, so this is a dead end. That's kind of why I wanted to do it first. Yeah, because it's a lot of good stuff. It doesn't go any further. Yep. Which means this way is the way forward. But instead of that, we'll go a bit further. We'll go a bit more. Yep. Through here is, again, the Eternal Sanctum key opens up this door. Okay, there should be some priestesses and a few chests. So we're going to open it up. try to avoid a crash. Alright. Eternal Sanctum Key. Over there, lady. There we go. There should be another one down the way. Yep. A lot of chests. Go. Right. A lot of chests. I remember like 4 of them being dried roots and the last one being something, but yeah. Right. Here we have dried root. Two dried roots. 5 dried roots. Lightning clutch ring. A very, very interesting ring. Which it boosts lightning damage, but reduces, I think, defense. Yeah. Ring depicting a hand grasping a stone. Increases lightning attack, but reduces physical defense. The origin of this ring is unknown, but it's designed to suggest one of the darker deities. Effective use of this ring requires skill on the part of the wearer. Yep. Drops our physical defense by 80 points, but it does boost. I'm not quite sure what the lightning boost is. I don't know if we can actually see it, but let's slap on our Trime. So plus 191. If we put on Lightning Clutch, plus 225. Okay, that's 34. That's actually pretty significant, especially when you're dealing with multipliers of like 3s and 2.5, like 2s and 3s. That's a lot of damage. Yeah, interesting. Yeah, cool. Does it adjust the modifier? Okay, no. Alright. Interesting ring. We might make use of it. The 80 points to physical defense isn't that huge. We could definitely offset that with the steel ring of protection, but we might give it a shot. And 2 bonfire aesthetics. Nice. Yep, and the lightning clutch ring also improves lightning damage on weapons. So yeah, 60 and 95, or 59. Yeah, 60 and 89. So that's another 30 points there. So if you're using a lightning weapon or lightning spells, miracles. Again, the 80 points in the physical defense negation or reduction, it isn't that big of a deal. No. Alright, so we climb the ladder. It should take us on outside. Again, I don't think there's any fake walls in here. I know there's some down below towards the boss, but I hear bugs. Oh, there you are. Close enough. There we go. So that way will lead us to the bonfire towards the Cave of the Dead, which is an NPC invader. We'll deal with that here in a moment. But let's climb up. We have an outside and we have a chest. Let's see. Not a mimic. You're probably trapped. Nope, not trapped. Interesting. And we have the Sanctum shield. Sanctum shield. Ooh. A shield with a curious design. Well, yeah. One of the treasures of the Sunken King. A mixture of mystical tree branch and sacred chime iron allows the shield to serve as a catalyst for miracles and sorceries. Most of the miracles and sorceries created in Shulva and in the Sanctum City were lost, but the quality of their armor and shields suggests highly advanced craftsmanship. A catalyst for miracles and sorceries. Nice. In a shield. Okay. Depending on how it scales, it may not be the best choice. I don't know. I mean, it's there. I mean, you have a shield you can block with, but I don't know. It's an option, I guess. It's an option. All right. Come outside. There should be sconces we can light, although I don't think they do anything. Yeah. Nothing on either side. But we have sconces we can light, so we are going to light them just because. Again, I don't think it does anything, but alright, so let's go down, cross this bridge, hopefully not die to the invader. So it is an NPC invader. They do have some heavy armor, so that is going to be a problem. I think the lightning is going to probably be our best bet. I think that's all we really can do. Yep. Alright, so we have an NPC invader. Again, he's got some steel armor on. He's got, I think, Pate's spear or a wing spear. He has a spear as a weapon, so he's going to be pretty difficult. And he's got a shield. I think he can parry you if you're not careful. But yeah, he's going to hurt. He's definitely going to hurt. But hopefully our spear and our stone ring will combine to stagger him. But Shulva, Sanctum City. There he is. Rock Shield Balder. He's got a stone parma, he's got wing spear, he's got steel armor. There's Lloyd's talismans, which is fine. We can still use life gems. Alright, so we can stagger him as long as he's not attacking. Ow. Yeah. There we go. Oh, I wanted a backstab. Fall down. There we go. Dark Spirit, Rock Shield, Balder has been vanquished. An FG? Nice. Alright. Yeah, he's a pretty difficult NPC. Again, because he's using a spear. Also, because he's using the steel armor, so he's going to have a pretty good chunk of poise. So, we have the bonfire. This is the Cave of the Dead. This should open up the elevator down below. There it is. This will lead us again to the Cave of the Dead, but yeah, here it is. Cave of the Dead. That's the challenge zone for the Sunken Crown DLC. We're gonna do that at the end because it is a real pain to do. The last thing we're gonna do is we're gonna do a little take the elevator down because there's kind of like a little drop off we can take. I'm trying to remember where it's at. Right here. Let's hop off. Get us to the item here we saw from the distance. A couple of torches. Yeah, we can just jump across if we want, but gonna continue exploring. Swings around. Got another chest. Nice. We have the Dark Greatsword. Where are you? Here we are. Yep, right here. The Dark Greatsword. It's a hex. 55 intelligence, 29 faith. Oof. Yep. Hex adapted from an ancient sorcery. Brandish dark like a sword. By its nature, dark is normally tranquil, but this hex releases a focused blade of dark, an uncharacteristic flash of brilliance. Yeah. By its nature, dark is normally tranquil. Yeah. It's normally at peace. Yeah. And the dark here is capitalized, so it's implied to be the abyss or the dark soul or Manus and all that stuff. So. Cool. And now we're way above here. I think that's just a. Was that just? Hold on. I think that's the room we were just at. I want to make sure. Okay, yeah, it's just the room we were just at. And you can see an item there. We'll have to get. You have to use the Sanctum contraption to raise that bridge. So that's going to be a while. Alright, so now we're just going to have to... I think we just run off. Yep, sprint off. Takes us right outside. Alright. So I want to see if there's anything below it. Nope. Alright. Dark Souls 3 taught me that. Always check the elevator underneath it. Alright. Yep, so we're going to go back up, hit the bonfire, and we'll call an episode up there. And with that, I am going to call an episode. Yep. Ah, yes. We furthered our adventures into Shulva. Yep. Start off at the bonfire, actually, right over there. Gosh, get a good look at it. Start over there. Just kind of dropped down through some Sanctum soldiers. Came upon the bridge down below, where Sin, the slumbering dragon himself, kind of showed up. Yeah, he blasted the bridge, killed the soldiers on it, trying to get us with it, but he came a bit too soon. And so, alright. Okay. Sorry about that. I had to readjust my seat. So yeah, Sin blasted the bridge with the soldiers on it. You can actually kind of, I think we might be able to see them, down there. And then we, instead of crossing the bridge, we went through some pots and picked up the Focused Soul sorcery. And that's another sorcery new to the DLC. That one I hope is the beam sorcery I was thinking it is, but you cast it and it shoots out a focused beam of energy kind of blast thing. But we'll see. It requires 60 intelligence, so in order to use it, I would have to respec. So I might do that between episodes to see if it is what I think it is. But but for now, we went across the bridge and made our way into the dragon's Sanctum. Yep, that little temple ziggurat structure is the Sanctum. Built to worship the dragon. Yep, Sin the dragon. So I think the first thing we did is we encountered the Sanctum Knights for the first time. Yep, they're all in their ghost forms when you first encounter them. So in order to lift their ghost form, you have to destroy their cursed armor, which makes them now vulnerable to physical damage. Because while they're ghosts, they're immune to physical and have very high elemental resistances. So we dealt with the one there. Open up the switch to the... hit a switch to open up a little wall or a door. That's just put there to show that there's switches about that you have to hit to open up certain doors. And behind that door was a course with dragon charms and hero soul. And then we kind of pressed forward on accident. Yeah, I should have cleared out the little room with the Sanctum Knights, but I pushed forward towards a priestess in like a little hallway, thinking that there might be a way back, but there's no way back. But before we did that, we aggroed 2 Sanctum soldiers, and we died. Yeah, that's on me, but I know. So I ran back to that little area, dealt with the 2 soldiers, and then we dropped it down. Yep. Dropped down, used our alluring skulls on the priestess, which I don't have here. Yep. The priestesses and the Sanctum soldiers are susceptible to alluring skulls, so if you just kind of want to not deal with them or distract them for a bit, just throw a skull. Yep, so we took care of the Sanctum soldier that was down there, dealt with the priestess, dealt with another Sanctum soldier, looted an effigy, and we hit the switch to kind of open up the path forward. And we made to this giant little hallway, yep, in the bowels of the Sanctum. I'm trying to think. Picked up repair powder, hopped across a pitfall, or a drop down. I mean, not a pitfall, but where we hit a switch to open up a door, hit another switch to open up another door. Dealt with a Sanctum soldier, as well as some more ahead past a trap staircase, which has a little switch at the top, which will activate the trap. So you can use that to lure up the soldiers onto the stairs, throw a alluring skull on the stairs for them to kind of sit there, hit the switch, and let the trap take care of the rest. So, but past them is 2 chests. One contained think Twinkling Titanite and Petrified Dragon Bone. I'm not sure what the other one contained. I don't think it was much of anything. There's also there was also another door that we opened up earlier, which had another chest containing the puzzle sword. I think it's called the puzzle sword. Yeah, the puzzling stone sword. Yep. That was that little treasure in that little section. So we picked that up, ran back, dropped it down the little broken stair, hooked a right. Well, I think we hooked the left first. Yeah, I think we did the left first. Saw that it was the room I didn't want to mess with. Yeah. It's a very, very dangerous section in the Sanctum. So instead of doing that, we went back through the corrosive bug nest in that little hallway area. Yeah, cleared it out. Almost died. Looted some like growth bombs, life gems, some good stuff. I think some Twinkling Titanite. That just kind of lets us back up to the big hallway. Yep. And then I tried to find a way up, didn't find a way up. So we went back down and dealt with the room I didn't want to deal with. Yeah. And there was there's spikes poking out of the floor. There was Sanctum Knights and the ghost form about, priestess up top. So the first thing we did is we kind of used our alluring skulls to distract the priestess. Ran past the knights, up a ladder, because the knights can't climb ladders. Then we went to deal with the priestess, and the game crashed. Yeah, the game crashed. Not sure what the problem was. I have a feeling it has to do with the physics engine at that point, because she used a scraps of life hex, which would normally knock us back, but it didn't quite do that. And because we were next to a ledge, there was probably some physics calculations I was trying to do, which my guess it involved like either an overflow, which I doubt would happen, or a divide by zero type thing. Yeah, so some sort of error happened. Game crashed. Yep. And then we came back. Luckily, it didn't put us too far back. Yeah. I think it put us back to where we did the drop down in order to take care of the room. So thank you, autosaves. So we went back down. Again, used the learning skull, distract the priestess, passed the knights up the ladder, ignored all the treasures and such. Always loot last. Clear out the enemies first, loot last. And this time we kept our distance from the priestess to avoid a crash again. And then we came upon another priestess and another Sanctum Knight in ghost form. This time we couldn't avoid him. He was already on our level. So we just kind of brute forced him. Yeah, we used Great Combustion because we could still damage him with elements, but not physical. So we used our Great Combustion to do some elemental damages against him and just kind of whittled him down. Yep. And then at that point, we took care of the priestess, hit a switch to open up a door, another switch to lower the spikes, trapped chest containing, I don't quite remember, I think the Sanctum crossbow, I think? No, Sanctum crossbow was on a corpse. Don't quite remember what was in the chest, but... Yep, and at that point, we crossed another bridge from that priestess that led down to a kind of like almost like a graveyard of sorts. I don't know, it's like a room with several slots in the walls with the various cursed armors for the knights. Yeah, that's the one room you definitely want to clear out as quick as you can. Yeah, so we poked our head in, aggroed the knights, ran back up to where the priestess in the chest was. Just kind of get all the knights up to that little area. And then we just kind of ran past them, back to that room with the cursed armors. And we just hugged the wall, attacked, destroying all the cursed armors that we could. That was our priority. If we died during the process, so be it. We just had to destroy those armors. So once those armors were destroyed, then we could take care of the knights one by one. Yep, I think one of them fell down. The other two chased us down, but they were separated. So we somehow separated them. So yeah, so we took care of one. The other one was still in that little cursed armor room. Dealt with him. Yep, looted the room, one which had the eternal Sanctum key, which eventually led us up here, as well as the Sanctum Knight's helmet. So we went back up to the other main room, dealt with two of the Sanctum Knights from range, dealt with the last Sanctum Knight melee, looted the room, bunch of twinkly Titanite, some other various items. There's also another chest containing the Bloodbite Ring +1. Opened up another kind of like wall. Yeah, opened up another switch wall. This one had a very important item, actually, important key. I think we need this one. Yeah, the Dragon Stone. Yep. This was behind a switch door in that one room with all the knights. And we also rotated another doorway leading to a chest containing the this denial. I think it was denial. Denial. Yep, right here. Yeah, that was in that chest past that one rotating wall. And after that, we found the switch, opened up a door leading to a bonfire in that little room. I think after that, we tried to find a way back up. Failed to do that. Fast traveled back to the bonfire. Ran back from that bonfire back to the temple here. Then we cleared out that first little room. Yeah, the one I kind of skipped on accident. Yeah, there was that had two knights in there. Their armors were easy to spot. You just shoot them with a bow and arrow to destroy them. Took care of those knights. Dipped into the hallway to the left real quick to take care of two of the Sanctum soldiers. And then we looted the chests in the room with the two knights. Yep. The first chest, let's see. Well, that room had, the notable loot was the Katarina helmet, the soul vessel, as well as a Titanite slab. The other chest had like 50 destructive arrows, and the last one, I think had old growth bombs, I believe. Yeah, so definitely a room worth clearing out, if not for the Katarina helmet and the soul vessel. Yeah, so those are like the real prizes. The Titanite slab would have been a prize, but you can actually farm them from the Stone Knights in the King's Passage. They drop them fairly uncommonly, kind of rare, but not as rare as the Dark Wraiths in Dark Souls. Yeah, not that rare. So, yep. And then after that, we went back to the hallway. Two more Sanctum soldiers. A trapped chest at the end, containing. What did it contain? I don't quite remember it containing much of anything. But there was a switch door that had 5 twinkling Titanites and 3 petrified dragon bones. Yeah, that was the real prize in that little hallway. Ooh, got some pretty decent amounts too. And then after that, we ran back up through the locked door at the beginning of the Sanctum, which we used the Eternal Key for. It cleared out the 2 priestesses. And opened up the 5 chests in that room. Yep, 5. 3 of them contained dried roots, totaling 8 in total. 1 chest contained the Lightning Clutch Ring, which is a pretty interesting ring. Boost lightning damage while reducing physical defense, which, okay. Physical defense reduction isn't that bad, so it's usable. Especially if you have some decent armor on, so we might give it a try. We might use it. We'll see. And the last chest in that room contained some bonfire aesthetics. Then we hit the ladder up, which got us to this level. We went up, I think we cleared out some bugs, went up again to a chest containing the Sanctum shield. It's an interesting little shield that allows us to use miracles and sorceries. So I think we can use all spells with that shield, but it's probably more for like utilities or quick cast spells. Yeah, nothing for any serious damage dealing. Hit the sconces, came back down, crossed the bridge, took care of rock shield Balder. Hit the bonfire, opened up the elevator, took it down, dropped off to... There's an item on the corpse, I don't remember what that was. The chest as well, containing... It was only like 20 minutes ago. That contained... Oh, that contained the a dark greatsword. Yes, that was in that chest down below. Yep, and we came back up here, and that was it. Yep, that was it. Yep. Made our way deeper into Shulva. Yep. Explored, I'd say, about a third of the Sanctum. Yeah, so... Or at least the temple over there. Yeah. There's still a bit more to it. Yeah, I know there's... We had to do a invasion by Chester Thomas. Yes, he does invade us. He does use pyromancies out the wazoo. There's a lower section containing the imperfect beings. We saw them at the beginning when we entered Shulva here. We could glimpse them down below. The giant, like, black, two-legged creatures. They're the imperfects. We have to deal with them. We'll have to activate the Sanctum contraption, which will lead us to, I think, I think it's over. Yeah, it's on the other side of the. It's on the other side of there. Yeah. Yeah, because I know that'll lead us to the Drakeblood sword, which we can grab, and eventually lead us deeper into the Sanctum. At least to the end of it, anyway. Towards the Alana, I believe her name is. Alana, the Squalid Queen, as well as Sin, the Slumbering Dragon. Yep. And along the way, there'll be Drakeblood Knights we'll have to fight, but... Yep. So, we're actually coming up to the end. Might be able to do it in one more episode. Well, most likely two, but... Yeah, we should be able to finish it off in about 2 episodes. But yeah, next episode, just more of the Sanctum. But again, as for another episode, and I thank you all for watching, and I'll see you all next time.